All right, welcome to The Explainer. So if your business has spent years, maybe even decades, trying to get to the top of Google, you are really going to want to pay attention because the entire rulebook is being torn up as we speak. You know, for the last 20 years, the game has been pretty simple, right? Get to the top of Google. Being that #1 blue link, that was everything. But what if I told you that entire playbook, the one that built billion-dollar industries, is becoming obsolete because AI is rewriting it from scratch? Think about it. That list of 10 blue links, it's practically muscle memory for us, but it's disappearing. Instead of a list of options you have to click through and research yourself, you're now getting a single direct answer, an answer that's been synthesized by AI, completely changing how we find anything online.
So, okay, if the blue links are going away, what's taking their place? To really get it, we need to understand just how big this change is, and why a lot of people are saying that the whole era of the search engine as we know it, well, it's over.
I mean, for what feels like forever, the internet has been this massive digital gold rush. And SEO, search engine optimization, well, SEO is the map. Businesses have poured billions and billions of dollars into that race to the top because that's where all the customers were.
So what's the technology driving all this change? It's something called a generative engine. And you got to stop thinking of it like a search engine. It's more like an answer engine. It's a whole different beast.
So here's the real kicker. A regular search engine just points you to a bunch of doors, right? A list of links. A generative engine, it goes through all those doors for you, reads everything inside, figures out what's important, and then comes back and just tells you the answer directly.
And this right here, this is basically the magic trick. You ask a question, the engine doesn't just look for keywords. It thinks. It asks itself, what's the best way to answer this? It might reword your question, go find the most legit sources, and then it literally writes a brand new answer just for you. The whole point is to give you that perfect answer so you never have to click another link.
Okay, so this whole new AI world, it's a classic double-edged sword. On one side, you've got these incredible new opportunities. But on the other, man, there are some really serious dangers you need to be aware of. Whoa, look at that number, $25 million. And you know what that is? That's not a company's valuation. That's how much cash a single engineering firm in the UK lost from one single AI scam just this year.
And look, this isn't some sci-fi movie plot. This is happening right now. At that firm, Erupt, an employee got duped by a deepfake video of their own bosses. The ad giant WPP got hit with a fake voice clone of their CEO. Even Ferrari had an executive impersonated. The danger is very, very real.
And it's not just about corporate fraud, you know. The problem is so big that the World Economic Forum, they flagged AI misinformation as one of the biggest global risks out there. Why? Because it just destroys trust in everything we see and hear.
Okay, but it's not all doom and gloom. Not at all. Because for every one of these new risks, a new door of opportunity swings wide open. And for businesses that are quick on their feet, this is a chance to connect with customers in a way we've never seen before.
Let's talk about that opportunity. See this? Plus 20%. That's a real revenue bump for a small e-commerce shop. They did it in just 3 months. And you know how? Not by ranking #1 on Google, but because ChatGPT started recommending their product. This is the whole point right here. They completely skipped the search page. They became the answer. When someone asked the AI for a solution, their brand was the direct recommendation. They connected with a customer at the exact moment of decision, jumping ahead of all their competitors. So, okay, we've established the game has totally changed. If the old game was SEO, what's the new one called? Well, it's GEO, and it has a whole new rulebook. You can't play yesterday's game today.
And that brings us to this new concept, Generative Engine Optimization, or GEO for short. It's basically the science of making your brand and your information so dang good, so credible, that these AI platforms have no choice but to use you as a primary source.
This visual just nails it, doesn't it? On the left, a person asks about things to do in New York, and a local pizza place is totally invisible to the AI. But on the right, after they've applied some GEO principles, boom, the AI is recommending their pizza right in the answer. They became part of the conversation.
Here's a good way to think about it. SEO was all about learning to speak the algorithm's secret language, keyword stuffing, backlinks. GEO is about cooking the AI a 5-star meal. You're giving it high-quality ingredients, facts, data, and credible sources so it sees you as the expert. Okay, so what can you actually do about all this?
Don't worry, we've got a simple 3-step playbook to get you started.
It really breaks down into 3 key stages. First, you've got to get your house in order. Make sure all your basic info is clean and easy for an AI to find. Second, you start optimizing your actual content for credibility. And third, you absolutely have to play defense.
So what actually works? Well, the research is pretty clear. You want to add things that build trust. Real statistics, quotes from experts, citing your sources, that's the good stuff. The old tricks, like just jamming keywords everywhere, forget it. It's actually worse than doing nothing.
And I mean, look at the numbers. They don't lie. Adding real, verifiable content like stats and quotes can give you a massive visibility boost, up to 40%. But that old keyword stuffing, it actually hurts you. You go backwards, down 9%.
But you know what's maybe the coolest part of all this? GEO really does level the playing field. It's not just about who has the most money for ads or the oldest website anymore. It's about who provides the most value. A small shop with real expertise can now go toe-to-toe with the giants.
So this whole shift, it isn't coming, it's already here. People are asking AI for answers instead of searching for links. And that leaves you, your business, with a really important question. When your customers turn to AI for help, is your brand going to be part of the answer?
Subscribe and visit trueintel.ai for more insights.